Hey guys, so today we're going to look at something a little bit differently. We're going to combine Linux commands in order to help us to solve a challenge. And so technically this will be a Linux command tutorial, but at the same time it's still a challenge. So let's go ahead and look at the challenge, see what we have. Okay, as you can see, it says we're getting comfortable with bash commands in Linux, and this time we're going to use them to solve a puzzle. But before we do, we need to learn how to combine commands. We use the pipe character, and basically that's the straight up and down line that you find on a keyboard below the backspace key. In the second row from the top, generally it's under the backspace key and it's on the backslash button. So you would do shift backslash and that would give you the pipe command. And what it does is it allows us to connect Linux commands together. So we do one command, space, pipe, space, another command, and then whatever the output of the first command is, it happens to it goes through the second command. So we can add this character, and basically it allows us to daisy chain commands together. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to look at a file, and we're going to see if we can figure out the flag is going to be the password. Now, the problem here is that the passwords and the usernames are separated into two different files, two different text files. And then they've been zipped together. So we're going to have to unzip the file into the two different separate text files. We have to find the username in the first text file, and we got to figure out some way to find the corresponding word or entry in the passwords file. And so what we've got to do is figure out how to find the line number. That's the kicker. We have to find a command that gives us the line number that something's on. So the username, we are given that. The username is Cultiris. Cultiris? Whatever you want to say. Cultiris, basically. Cultiris. And that is that's the username that their password contains the flag. So what we have to do is we have to figure out how to get the line number that this is on in the username's text, and then find out what's on that same line in the password's text. So let's look at our hint. Basically it says you'll need to extract files from a tar and then use commands to find the necessary information. You need to pay attention to line numbers. So that tells us what we need to know. So let's go ahead and download the file. And this is a tar file. And basically, it allows us to, it's like a zip file. It allows us to compress files and put them together. So it's in the downloads folder, and I actually have already downloaded it once. So what I did was I moved it over here to the Linux folder. And this is the handiest thing ever. Basically, it allows you to, oh, there we go. That's one thing I don't like about this Linux folder is it doesn't automatically update. So you may have done something earlier and it doesn't tell you you've done it until you try to do it again. So anyway, but here is our file. It's leak.tar. A tar file, like I said, is just an archive file like a zip. And inside that, there are other files. And so what we need to do first things first is extract the tar file and get our two text files that we want to work with. So to do that, we're going to use the Linux command tar followed by the -xf, and what that says is to extract it and to put it in a directory. So it's going to build a new folder for us called leak, and it's going to put those two files in there. And then we need to make it leak.tar. We hit enter. And I hate that it never tells you it was successful or not. Okay, now that we're in the, now that we've extracted the file, let's go ahead and see what we can do as far as finding what we got. So let's go ahead and do an ls in our Linux command line here. And currently we're in our directory, and there is our leak directory. So we're going to cd into leak, and ls there we have the usernames and the password text files. So what we have to do now is we have to use Linux commands to find, first of all, the line number that the cult iris username is on, and then we need to find the password that's on that corresponding line in passwords. So let's use the grep command. We're going to use -n because we want to know the line number, and the username we have is cult iris, and that's in usernames.txt, and that is line number 378. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to use a command called sed, S-E-D, and basically that's going to allow us to find this corresponding line number in a different file, and it will give us the information that's on there. So let's go ahead and do, that's annoying, sed. And the way that we do that, once again, -n tells us we're working with line numbers. And then we're going to do line 378. And inside these curly brackets, we're going to do P semicolon Q, which says we want the text. P semicolon Q, which says we want the text. And we want that from passwords.txt. Okay, so this should give us the password at line 378. And it does. However, when we look at it, it's in the right format, but that does not look like anything. So it looks like it's been encoded. Once again, that's not hex, and it's not base 64. Certainly not binary. I'm going to go with ROT13 this time. Now, we have an application in Linux in our command line to decode ROT13. So I'm going to try that and do sed-n. I'm going to do the exact same command again. P, Q, close that, do that, passwords.txt. And this is the part I want you to get. A pipe character, this is the shift / character, makes a straight up and down line, and I'm going to use the command ROT13. So what this will do, this is going to take that string of text we got the first time, and it's going to pass it immediately to the ROT13 command, which will decode it. So then we hit enter, and sure enough, there's our flag. That is exactly what we were looking for right there. And basically what that says is Control F saves time, which is thoughtful. Anyway, so that's the series of commands that we would use to solve this puzzle. What's important, though, is that you learned how to use the grep command and also the grep command to find number lines. And then we learned to use the sed command to take a number line and find out what information is at that number line in a file. So these are two really important commands. Grep and sed are two very important commands anytime you're trying to do file analysis, because basically those commands are the best commands you can use for file analysis. All right, so let's go ahead and copy our flag. We're going to paste it in. You guys know how to do that, so I'm not going to take up your time with that. But anyway, that is essentially what we are trying to accomplish. All right, so a quick review. We learned the grep command, G-R-E-P. -n tells us we want the number line. Then we learned the sed, S-E-D command, and -n tells us we want to use number lines to do the search. And then we learned about the ROT13 command, which decodes anything that's coded in ROT13. We also learned about the pipe character, which is the shift /. That's the one in the second row toward the top of the keyboard, not down at the bottom. And what that does is it strings commands together. So we use the sed command to get the information, and then we piped it to the ROT13 command to decode it. So that's why they call it pipe. That's a way to remember we're piping information from one command to another. So that's a good way to remember it. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you found it useful. And if you have any questions, please contact me through the Canvas inbox, or just wait till you see me in class, which I will see you guys on Thursday night. In the meantime, have a good day.